Italy is one of the pioneering nations in military aviation. During the World Wars, it introduced several cutting-edge developments and set an impressive number of sporting records. The legendary bombers of the Savoia-Marchetti brand proved themselves in combat during the Spanish Civil War, the Ethiopian Campaign, and of course, World War II. The story of SIAI-Marchetti, one of Italy's oldest aircraft manufacturers, began in 1915. In the early days of aviation, the Italian Air Force relied on seaplanes and aircraft capable of striking both naval and ground targets with equal effectiveness. The early SM models, resembling modified boats, were built to fit this role. However, in the 1930s, on the eve of another global conflict, the company shifted its focus to land-based aviation, specifically bombers. By the start of World War II, Italy's Air Force had an aura of prestige, bolstered by outstanding sporting achievements. Yet of the more than 3,000 aircraft it possessed, barely 2,000 were combat-ready. And of those, fewer than 200 were modern fighters like the Fiat G50 and Mach-E MC-200. Due to a combination of economic and political factors, Italy's military aviation industry lagged significantly behind its competitors. Nevertheless, the Italian Air Force still had some truly outstanding aircraft at their disposal. One example was the Savoia-Marchetti SM-79 Sparviero. By 1939, more than 600 of these were in service. By that time, the Sparviero, meaning sparrowhawk in Italian, had already proven its combat effectiveness during the Spanish Civil War. Originally based on a civilian aircraft, the three-engine SM-79 entered military service in 1934. Its impressive top speed of 450 kilometers an hour shaped its final design. It was assumed that the bomber would rarely face head-on engagements, so only one of its 5 Breda Safat machine guns was mounted in the nose, and the aircraft lacked defensive turrets. Agile and capable of emergency water landing thanks to its lightweight wooden construction, the Sparviero proved its worth in a daring 1943 raid on Allied naval forces at Gibraltar. Variants such as the SM-79-2 and SM-79-3 were later developed, serving effectively as torpedo bombers. Savoia-Marchetti also produced other noteworthy designs, such as the S-81, developed from a commercial airliner. It saw action in both the Spanish Civil War and World War II, and even returned to civilian use afterward. The S-81 featured 3 engines and superior defensive armament compared to its predecessor. Its more spacious fuselage allowed it to carry up to 2 tons of bombs on short-range missions. Due to its vulnerability and relatively low speed, it was mostly used in night operations, where it successfully completed many missions across North Africa. The SM-91, by contrast, was designed from the ground up for military needs. A heavy twin-boom fighter, and one of the few all-metal aircraft from Savoia-Marchetti. Its versatility allowed it to serve as a long-range escort fighter, bomber, or ground attack aircraft. It was armed with 7 MG-151 cannons, one of them mounted in a remotely operated turret, and could carry up to 600 kilograms of bombs. As it also had an impressive range of up to 1,600 kilometers, this formidable vehicle had the potential to be a true menace on the battlefield. Unfortunately, Italy never got the chance to test it in action. The prototype, powered by twin 12-cylinder DB605A1 engines, took its first flight in 1943 but never entered mass production. Both completed prototypes were lost during the war. The final combat aircraft developed by SIAI-Marchetti was the SM-92, a close relative of the SM-91. It shared the same engines but featured a lighter airframe and even more guns. 3 20mm MG-151 cannons and 5 Breda Safat 12.7mm machine guns. Its bomb load was also increased. The only prototype took flight in 1943, but just 6 months later, it was mistaken for a P-38 Lightning and nearly shot down. Though it managed to land with heavy damage, the aircraft was ultimately lost in a subsequent bombing raid. In the final years of the war, Allied forces took control of the SIAI-Marchetti factories, marking the end of the company's legendary era. Though most of its history unfolded during the most turbulent decades of the 20th century, the SM aircraft left their mark both in civilian aviation and on the battlefield, setting world records and seeing action on 2 continents.